Anyway, let's start with the feminine over here. The Justice card. Ooh, big major arcana energy. It's number 11. So which equals 2. I feel like the Sagittarius feminine in March are coming into what is due to them and what is not necessarily fair, but what is just, what needs to happen in your love life, romantic, intimate relationship, divine partnership. Whatever's happening has been a long time coming. I don't feel like this is a new energy. I feel like there's been a lot happening up until this point for you to reach this, I'm going to say a climax or culmination of, I feel like there's a realization and a finality to this card, feminine. However that is arising or showing up for you. Let's see what the masculine has. The Judgment. Another major arcana card, but in reverse. I feel like the masculine Sagittarians for this month, whatever justice is happening over here for the feminine, I feel like the masculine is going to feel like it is not in his favor. And there could be some fighting around that, some bickering and really digging their heels in. Masculine, I'm going to say it. I don't feel like you're seeing the situation truly and honestly and have the 10,000 foot view perspective of what really is going down in this situation. And I feel like other people, you're going to feel at the mercy of other people as you're dealing with this situation. Put in the comment section below what situation that is for you. I'd be curious. Let's see the feminine underneath the surface energies or subconscious energies that are powerful and a driving force. So the 7 of Cups in reverse. I feel like there's been a waffling and an uncertainty in the feminine's world as to how to approach the masculine or this situation. And I feel like the confusion has lifted. And it completely has to do with this Justice card here. There is no doubt in the feminine's mind of what needs to happen now moving forward. And clarity feels good. However, the emotional experience of it could be a little heavy. I'm getting it's because it's not a light and airy fairy energy that I'm picking up on. It's something completely life-changing, Sagittarius. And there's no, like I said, that's coming up again. There's no doubt in your mind the direction that you need to move forward into. And it's clear. However, it's not necessarily to say that it's easy. Because I feel like you were hoping for one situation, but really knew deep down in your gut that there was a chance that hope or wish was a long shot. But how it's going to be resolved is what is absolutely necessary and needed at this point in time for healthy boundaries to stay intact and for true love to come in, whatever that means to you, Sag, feminine. So let's move back over here for the masculine subconscious energies. Yeah, he is so afraid of losing financially, materially, in a practical sense. And I feel like the rug is being pulled out from the masculine's experience that I feel like he's operating in from a very fearful place, unfortunately, and grasping a little bit as to what he thinks he needs to feel secure moving forward into his future, which that's all a story and none of it's true. But the experience of it is rooted in past disappointments and past fears that are really bubbling up to the surface right now through the circumstance. For him to really, hopefully, get a handle on. And once and for all, I feel like we experience things repetitively over and over and over until we get the lesson that it's trying to teach us. And I feel like in the month of March, coming up to the new moon here pretty soon in the middle of the month, he's going to have an opportunity to really let go of this fear-based thinking that's driving him, and a certain amount of stubbornness. And then it's going to give him an opportunity to be vulnerable. And because it feels like this situation, he feels out of control, which is what is driving him to act in this way. Or the masculine. Now these are pretty intense energies, Sagittarius. Chime in below and let me know. So the conscious above ground energies for the feminine is she is not willing to be left out in the cold anymore. She's not standing for this. She's turning the corner and going into the cathedral where it's warm and they can feed her, and it's a place of comfort, and it's a place of where they know your name, kind of like Cheers, a little comic relief there, that she can rely on through March, and she won't, through this process of justice happening in her life, she's going to need the support of family and friends and loved one who knows intimately, as best as anybody can, what the feminine has been going through. And I'm just listening. There's a solidity in the grieving process happening right now for the feminine that she knows needs to happen, and she's allowing it for herself to let go of some sort of toxicity in her life that she has reached the end of her rope with. So let's see the masculine. Yeah, oh my goodness, the High Priestess in reverse. I got another sense of grasping in this card, of not relying on his divine intention, divine love, divine purpose. I feel like the Sagittarians masculine are feeling lost and misguided, and what's guiding them is not this beautiful, loving internal process, but one that feels really scary. I feel like the masculine feels scared this month of whatever situation he's going through. And especially around the new moon energies with the little crescent moon here. So I want to say to the masculine, like, everything is happening because of the actions and the thought patterns and the beliefs that have led up to this point in time. For good reason, it needs to be resolved. And as uncomfortable as this situation feels, I want to say that it's been inevitable. And there's an opportunity for some really deep healing and some grounding and centering, and forgiveness is coming up. Some deep forgiveness of self, ultimately. And I feel like that's where all forgiveness has to stem from. We all have to do the internal work to forgive ourselves for not showing up maybe in the best ways possible in certain relationships or situations, and do better and move forward with higher guidance at the helm, and not feeling like you have to do it alone, but coming into your center and relying on prayer and love and light. And I feel like this can be a very transformative experience for Sagittarian masculine, if they allow it to be. If they allow the cinders of the transformational fires happening right now to sort of take them to their knees, down to the nitty-gritty of what is true and essential and kind, and loving kindness for themselves to begin with. And in that way, they can then offer that out to the people in their life. So let's see what the combined energies are. The 9 of Wands in reverse. So to me, this is a very tired energy. Like these two people involved are not wanting to fight for what they know isn't in their heart anymore. It's not, I want to say it's not an energy of giving up, but knowing when to put down the battle swords and go home and lick your wounds and just take care of what you need to take care of. Because going around and around and around in your head, and this could be a relationship that maybe proved to be a little bit toxic or abusive or not in your highest interest. I feel like justice is being served and the door is closing on this chapter in your life. And the masculine and feminine have very different viewpoints of what went down. And of course they do, because they're individual people and everybody's experience is colored by their past and their beliefs again. So ultimately, I feel that this happening and putting it to rest and getting some closure on it and starting the process of healing in March, Sagittarius, is absolutely for the ultimate best, highest good for each, the masculine and the feminine. Even though it may not look or feel like that right now in whatever situation that you're handling and dealing with, trust in your divine guidance and trust in the process that God has always your best and highest, most loving interests in mind. So, wow. Let's see. I'm going to pull an additional card for you, Sagittarius, by Doreen Virtue, the Archangel Michael Oracle cards, for some additional guidance for the month of March. My heart goes out to you guys, if that is in fact anything to do with what you're going through. Let me know below in the comment section I love hearing from you and connecting with each of you. So again, thank you for being here. Okay. Yeah, believe and trust. That's the card. Cannot make that up. Look at that. He's coming out of a very scary, dark place and facing the light into a more glorious future that is guided by angels in a higher source power. So this is the prayer. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. I love that. I also want to read to you from the book, because I feel like to, and I feel like it's going to be helpful. To resolve this situation, you must believe that everything is healed and whole right now. As your faith grows stronger, the doorway to divine solutions will open. Your trust enables your mind and body to relax, which increases your creative energy and strength, two qualities that will prove especially helpful to you. So a possible specific meaning, the one that is jumping out, is give your worries to God and the angels, and to believe in yourself. So again, here's the prayer again. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. And so it is. I don't think I have any more messages to share with you about that, Sagittarius. So I'm going to end it there.